G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So in this video today we're going to take a look at my all-Australian squad predictions. Now let me just quickly say that this is my opinion, so please don't get a little angry in the comments. This is solely my opinion. So yeah, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. So this is my all-Australian squad. The 40-man squad was announced a few days ago, and the actual 22-man all-Australian is going to get announced this Thursday. So I want to get this video out pretty much as soon as possible. So yeah, let's get into it. Rightio, so here is my little kind of squad slash field that I've made, and we're going to be filling in my 22-man squad right here. So we've got obviously all the positions in an AFL field, including the 4 interchange benches or players or whatever you want to call them. And yeah, so we're going to kick it off from the backman, and we're going to start off with the back pocket, and we have got 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝 from Melbourne. This guy has been, just solid all year long. He's averaging great disposals, great intercept marks, and he's just always seemed, yes, he's that kind of like that third tall defender, but yeah, he's just always a solid defender for him at Melbourne. So yeah, 𝐓𝐴 is in back pocket. Moving on to fullback, and we have got quite an obvious option of Steven May, the absolute rock for the Melbourne Demons, and what a player he was. He just kept on chipping away, terrific at one-on-ones, and just like 𝐓𝐴, he racked up great stats and averages, and he was just a menace, absolute menace at the back, and he definitely deserves a spot. Now moving on to the other back pocket from the Geelong Footy Club, we've got Tom Stewart. Now, I know this guy did get injured, but he's still been a fantastic defender all season long. His one-on-ones are absolutely excellent. He's such a reliable defender. His intercept marks are just brilliant, and also he loves to take the game on with his elite levels of meters gained per game. So, yeah, I think it's just an easy one for me. Even though he's been injured, he still definitely deserves his spot. Now we'll move on to the halfback line, and for our first halfback flanker, we've got Bailey Dale from the Western Bulldogs. This player's had a very good season. I didn't really think much about him until I've realised, hey, his stats are looking very nice. And yeah, he's been selected in the 40-man squad, and obviously he plays alongside Caleb Daniel. I've seen his highlights throughout the year, and I feel like he's probably played better than Caleb Daniel. He's just a very good kick. He's just a reliable defender. He only has 1 tackles per game, which is his average, but he's just one of those really clean halfback flankers, and yeah, this will be his first All-Australian appearance if he does make it. You also have to give him credit that this is his first year playing on the halfback line. He used to play in the forward line, and he's switched back to the halfback, and yeah, he's just pretty much felt like a natural over there. He's just been so clean with the footy, and yeah, he's just excelled at that position. Moving across to centre half back, this is a tough one between Wiedering and 𝐼𝐴, and my personal preference, I've decided to go for 𝐼𝐴, simply because he has played for, the better team, and he's just felt so much more impactful, especially the second half of the season. I felt Wiedering died down a little bit in the second half of the season, was losing a lot more one-on-one battles, but 𝐼𝐴 has just been such a physical beast, and you cannot beat him in the air. He's been brilliant with intercept marking. He's just strong, and remember, he won that showdown medal, and yeah, he's just been an absolute menace, and what a recruit he's been from Port Adelaide. So yeah, I feel like it's a pretty solid selection, and 𝐼𝐴 goes at centre half back. For the final play in our defence of my All-Australian predictions, we have got Daniel Rich at the other halfback flank. This man has never made an All-Australian before, and I feel like this will be finally his first year, and he has just had such an epic year. I keep on seeing highlights of him booting goals from 60 metres out, just his kicking as well, easily the best in the league. Like, he can kick a bloody dart from 40 metres away, without going over the head. It's just literally ridiculous, and yeah, he's just been, for his whole career, just such a beautiful kick, and that's literally what he's made of, and he's just been such a huge impact for the Brisbane Lions. So yeah, he goes into my team. Moving on into the midfield now, and for our first wingman, it's pretty much, again, a no-brainer. Sam Walsh, he's one of the young guns of the competition. It's just crazy to feel how a young star can be literally carrying such, underachieving side of Carlton, and just what he puts on display is crazy. Just his work ethic, his running, like, he's kind of like a Ben Cousins where people can't keep up with him. He's just an absolute machine, and yeah, he's going to be, literally, he already is a star, but he's just going to keep on getting better and better, and for me, he deserves a blazer this year. Moving on to the centre now, we've got Jack Steele. Now, I know this guy isn't like a proper sentiment. I mean, you know, this is how all Australian selections work. You know, you chop and change with positions. And yeah, I feel like this guy has to start. This man has been an absolute freak this year. And honestly, I reckon he is an underrated or a dark horse for the Brownlow. He's a, you know, I think he almost broke the record for the most tackles by a player in the season. He's just an enforcer, you know, rucks up disposals each and every game. And he's just literally the heart of St Kilda at the moment. And for me, he's an easy decision for the All-Australian squad. Now moving on to the other wing position, we are heading to the Gold Coast, and we have to put this man in, I reckon. 𝐸𝐿𝐼, a little bit of a personal preference. There's a lot of star midfielders we can be putting in, remember, but I just love this guy, man. He is just a freak. You know, every week you see him at least 35 disposals. I think it was 11 games in a row he had at least 30 disposals. That is just crazy. And I know you know, he usually gets the ball around him in a low tiered side of Gold Coast, but you know, just what he puts on display each week is just something special, and I feel like he has to at least make the bench, I reckon, of this year's All-Australian squad. Okay, now it's time to move on to the forward line, and in our first forward flank position, we've got Christian Petrarca. Bit of an unorthodox move, you know, he usually plays in the centres, but I've put him at forward flank. I feel like a handful of other people will too. Yeah, this guy is just a versatile, big-bodied midfielder that can get forward, kick goals. You know, he's the man that can do it all, and that's what makes him so special. As I just said before, versatile, kind of like a 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼 𝐸𝐼. He can get forward, he can you know, slot a few home, and you know, he's always that player that week in, week out, he is always going to make a huge impact for the D's. So yep, he is in my team. For the centre half forward position, I've chosen Tom Hawkins from Geelong. I feel that this guy's the best forward of the 21st century, or one of the best. You know, he's just absolutely automatic at the set shot position. You know, if you just take a serious look, his kicking action, you know it's going to go through, and he's just such a prolific goal scorer. He's just simply a classic key forward that can get up, you know, very athletic in the air, and as I said before, just beautiful at slotting goals, so elegant. And yeah, he is in my centre half forward position. For my other half forward flank, I've chosen Jake Stringer. Now this guy, you know, yeah, his first half of the season was, you know, pretty good, but yeah, his second half is what made me choose him. Just absolutely freakish. He started to kick goals for fun, man, outside 50. Literally ridiculous, some of the goals he does kick. And yeah, for me, no brainer. He is just an absolute star, and just a game changer for the Dons. For my first small forward of the All-Australian squad, this is a bit of a personal preference. There's a few small forwards to choose from, but I've just gone for Tom Papley because, you know, he's one of my favourite players. But, you know, I'm being sensible with this choice. I feel like he's had a fantastic season. You know, he's just always contributing each and every game. Just what he does, you know, his celebrations, he always lifts the team, and he's always very impactful in the forward line. He can kick some very nice goals. He's energetic, and he can also run in the midfield too, which is, you know, gives him that extra versatility, which, you know, I guess all Australian selectors always look for. So for me, the boy from 𝐵𝐵𝐵 makes the team. For my other forward pocket, we've got from the Giants, Toby Green. You know, I just love this guy. Love him or hate him. You know, a lot of people do hate him because, you know, he's a bit cocky and everything. But just, honestly, he is such a skillful player, man. I just love the way he kicks goals, the way he does his business. You know, he's confident on what he does. And, you know, I love how he's just committed to the club. And each and every year, he just amazes us with some crazy goals and marks. So for me, I feel like he has to make the All-Australian team, and he's in my team. And for full forward, I think many of you can guess it, it is of course Harry Mackay from Carlton, the Coleman Medal winner with 58 goals. Even though, yep, he got injured the last few weeks of the season, he's just been a very reliable goal kicker for Carlton and very consistent. Which is always important, always getting goals on the board, left, right and centre each and every week. And he's also a very dominant player in the air, so he takes the full forward spot of my team. Moving on to the ruck position now, it is another player from the Melbourne Demons. It is, of course, Max Gawn. This guy, one of the best ruckmen for a number of years now, and yeah, he's just each and every game getting a hell ton of hit-outs. Hell ton? I don't know what that means. A lot of hit-outs. 32 per game is honestly ridiculous, and he's not just, you know, that player that just hits it out of the ruck all the time. He is kind of like a fourth midfielder for him. He's a player that can always help his teammates out with some nice hand passes and kicks forward, and for me, he is the best ruckman of this year, and this is why he's in the team. Now for the ruck rover position, we've got Max Gawn's teammate, Clayton Oliver, the lad that he usually taps it to. Just an absolute champion, this guy is, Clayton Oliver. I love the way he plays. You know, he's just always a pack burster, a player that just grabs and gets it out of the contest with ease, and racks up disposals. His first half of the season was scarily good, kind of, dropped a tiny bit, but nah, he has still been a very consistent player for the Demons, and yeah, he could obviously, good chance of him for the Brownlow too, so yeah, fantastic midfielder he is. The starting 18 of this squad cannot be done without, of course, the Bont, Marcus Bontempelli, the favourite for the Brownlow medal, even though people have criticised him this last few weeks because of getting tagged and a bit of a poor performance. He has literally carried these Bulldogs, man. It's just each and every week. I just love, it's just crazy to see how he plays. He can just, you can't tackle him. He is an absolute bully in that midfield. And, he's tall, he's got a great kick. Some of his deliveries are just absolute gems, man. He has been an absolutely beautiful player this season, and for me, easy selection. And yeah, I reckon he'll be taking home Charlie too. Of course, the squad isn't complete without the 4 interchange players, and these are some players that were unlucky not to make the starting squad for me, but they've still been brilliant players, and we're kicking it off with the first one of Ollie Wines from Port Adelaide. Handful of people say, his disposal efficiency isn't that great, and he always has a lot of clangers, but, try tackling a 100-kilogram midfielder who just charges his way through. He is just an absolute enforcer in that midfield for Port Adelaide. Just always gets in for the hard ball. Love the way he goes, especially paired up with Boak, who he didn't even make the 40-man squad, surprisingly, which is just crazy. But yeah, for me, Ollie Wines has to make it, and he's also a very good chance of the Brownlow too, I'm pretty sure. For our next interchange player, we've got Darcy Parish from Essendon, and yeah, this guy he can play some crazy performances, man. I mean, over 40 disposals some games. He's won 3 medals this year. Eventually he did get tagged a little bit and the disposals went down, but he's still been easily one of Essendon's best players, and for me, he has to make the squad. He's a very entertaining player to watch. For the second last player of my All-Australian side, we've got from the Western Bulldogs, Jack Macrae, almost like Bontempelli's sidekick. Them two work together so well. And, he's a bit more of a outside midfielder, a bit of a cleaner user of the ball on that nifty left boot of his. And, yeah, he's just racking up disposals each and every week. And I just love his deliveries. I love his great composure. And, yeah, he is just a huge impactor. And also adding him with Bontempelli is just what makes the Bulldogs midfield just so terrific. And for me, he has to make the squad, Jack Macrae. And for the final player in my All-Australian squad, I'm going to go for a ruckman, and it is, of course, 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝. I just feel like he has been fantastic this year. Usually, sometimes it can be just the one ruckman. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, there's just been terrific midfielders this year, so I don't think there's space for a ruckman, which is fair enough. But, this guy, I think he's like, top 5 in clearances. He is just his hit outs to advantage are just brilliant. He's a guy you can't hate. And yes, Gawn is the best ruckman of the competition, but 𝐓𝐿 is not far behind in my opinion. I just love the way he plays, and yeah, just some of his hit outs are just absolutely perfect. Bloody hell, I'd love to be a midfielder for the Eagles. So ladies and gentlemen, there is my 22-man squad for the 2021 All-Australian. Make sure to leave a comment and tell me, who would have you putting in. It's a very heated topic, I reckon. There's a few players that I did leave out, like Bailey Fritsch, for example, Hugh McCluggage, Zach Merritt, Salem, Charlie Cameron. There's a number that I did leave out, but hey, it's 22 players, and this 22, in my opinion, have been just superior this year. So if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, that's it from me, fellas. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you later.